Oh, hey there. It's me again. Have you ever flipped a coin or rolled a dice? What if I told you that there are music that's made the same way, full of surprise, chance, or unpredictability? Instead of playing what the composer has written strictly, the composer lets the performer decide on how to play a section or leaving parts of the music unfinished on purpose. It's music that lets go of control. Well, not entirely out of control, but lets go most of its control. And that's what makes it exciting. Don't worry, as I said before in the last video, you don't have to be a musician to understand this. Compared to the last video I made about serialism, I think I'm gonna approach this in a more rambling, almost philosophical perspective of what aleatoric music really is. And I will not be using any background music this time because I'll explain later.
Wow, Keenan, you're getting so meta. Oh my god, you're breaking the fourth wall.
Yeah, that's what I am doing right now. Instead of aleatoric music or chance music for dummies, I'll simply title it Aleatoric Music in a Philosophical Perspective. Aleatoric music, or sometimes called chance music, is music that's created using randomness or unpredictability. Instead of writing out every single note like most classical music does, aleatoric composers leave certain parts open. That means no two performances are exactly the same. Fun fact, people actually have been playing with randomness in music for centuries. In the 1700s, there's this system called musikalisches Würfelspiel. Sorry, I butchered that name, but it's called musical dice games. It's German for musical dice games. So it's basically the composer uses dice to randomly generate music for pre-composed options. It's kind of like composing with a board game. But the real boom of aleatoric music happened in the 20th century, where composers were looking for totally new ways to express themselves. In 1952, a guy called John Cage composed a piece called 4 minutes and 33 seconds. It has no notes. The performer just sits at the instrument and does nothing, and listens. That's the piece, that's the music. The room becomes the orchestra, the audience becomes the sound. It makes you think, is music only what's written on a page, or can any sound be music? Well, at least in my opinion, that's what Cage thought. He wanted to explore the nature of silence and its place in music. He wanted to challenge conventional notations of what constitutes music and inspire a way of listening to the world's sounds. It's a piece that relies on the ambient noise of the performance space and the audience's experience rather than the performer's intentional sounds. It's basically not about silence, it's about attention, it's about awareness. Aleatoric music asks us to trust the unknown, to let accidents become beauty, to accept that we don't control everything. A gust of wind might change a performance. Hell, a violin string might snap. And someone might even laugh in the middle of a pause. And maybe that's the most honest music there is. Sometimes we only think of music as songs, but I think it can be bigger than that. And aleatoric music opens up the possibility that life itself makes music, that randomness can be art, that silence can be full, that listening is an act of creation. Okay, so we're getting to the end of this video, and you might have noticed that there is no music playing in the background, no dramatic swells, no fancy transitions. It's just this. That's on purpose. This video is my small way of paying tribute to John Cage's 433, a piece made entirely of what most people call silence. But when you really listen, you realize silence isn't silent at all. There's always something, a breath, a bird, a passing car, and suddenly that something becomes the music. You see, I didn't plan that. You hear that? That's a car passing by. So the next time you hear something strange, random or totally unplanned, stop and just listen. You might be hearing aleatoric music, where the composer, performer, or even you become part of the sound. Because sometimes the best music is the one you didn't plan. Keep listening.